What is going on, everyone? We're back here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be covering a little bit of the World Baseball Classic. Preparing the website's down, so we're going to go over to the wiki. So here we are on the wiki. There's a lot of things on here that you guys might not know, or they're actually on the site. You can see all the teams that are competing, you know, their previous placements, all that good stuff, their overall ranking. So I like using the wiki actually better than the website sometimes. But they also updated this. They updated the umpires on here. They updated the prize pool money. You guys do know there's $14.4 million on the line for some of these teams. And then we have the actual pools. So let's go over some of the matches because they've been pretty crazy. Let's start with Pool A. Before we start with anything, so pretty much how this works is you got to be top 4 to qualify for the next World Baseball Classic in 2026. So pretty much if you get that last place position, you're out of the Classic, you have to re-qualify. So that's why these matches are even more important than ever, especially for these teams down here to actually qualify. And they haven't really released much about the qualifiers yet, but you just got to be in that top 4 to qualify. So even if you don't get in the actual, tournament bracket for, the quarterfinals, you still want to get 3 or 4 so you can qualify for the next round, which will be the 2025 qualifiers. So that's the one thing they've noted really early. So that's like a major key for some of these teams as well. So let's start with Pool A. I mean, obviously the Netherlands jumped out to a 2-0 lead already in this group, looking pretty solid. They already beat out Cuba. They beat Panama already. So they beat the bottom 2 teams in the group, which, is not that impressive. But they do face a good Chinese Taipei squad that just came off a win against Team Italy. Really good game. They won 7-11 in that one. A lot of, they hit the ball really well. And Italy's games have been pretty close. These games have been back and forth. Italy's been playing. They have looked really good, but a lot of their games are really close. So that's one thing to keep in mind. They are the only team to actually go into the extra innings with Cuba that they did win. So Italy's looking good in this group. The Chinese Taipei squad had a really good bounce back game after losing really bad to Panama. So we'll see what they do against the Netherlands. I mean, that's an interesting game. I mean, Chinese Taipei end up winning. They could have a good shot to qualify for this. But the Netherlands got that 2-0 matchup. They got to face their best teams. So it's going to be a hard road for them coming on up. And then for Panama, they play one game against Team Italy. If they lose this game, they are out of the World Baseball Classic and have to re-qualify. So not looking good for Panama if they lose this game versus Italy. And if you look at Panama's last history, they did qualify for this Classic in the qualifiers. In their last 2 matches in 2006 and 2009, they got rounded in the pool stage. So very similar thing could happen as well, especially for a squad like that. So yeah, looking at the matchups now, we only have about 2 games left of the group actually left. So I do think that Italy will actually get out of this group. They do face the Netherlands and Panama. I think Panama they could definitely win, take a good dub on. And then, I think the Netherlands, that will be the matchup they could beat. I do think Italy and the Netherlands could still get out of this group. But, it's going to be hard. I think they're going to have to, Cuba's going to have to help them out and beat the Chinese Taipei. But we'll see. I mean, this could get crazy. It's going to be Italy, the Chinese Taipei, or the Netherlands getting out of this group. Definitely not. I mean, there's 1 and 2 teams. I mean, they both need to win and have some really good luck to actually be able to get out. And then the tiebreakers get crazy because it goes off your win percentage, then your head-to-head records, so wins and losses, then your head-to-head record, and then your run differential. So pretty interesting tiebreakers we have for this one. So it's going to be hard for some of these teams to actually get out and qualify, but the top 3 are probably going to be the ones that get out. But Chinese Taipei could slip if they lose the Netherlands, and they're 1 and 2. And then if Italy wins this game, they could be back up. They did beat them, so they would have the tiebreaker if they tied, with 2 and 2. But I don't know, it could be interesting. This group's looking very interesting, and there's been a lot of good games, though. The games have been really solid in this group. All right, so let's go over to Pool B now. We've only had a couple games in this one, so not really a bigger sample size. We still have a lot more games to go. We're only 4 in. Look at the attendance, by the way, in the Tokyo Dome for Japan. 41,000 is a lot. I just had a note out. I think for Taipei, they had 18,000, and they had 15,000, so they had a little bit more. I think the Tokyo Dome holds more, too. Yeah, I mean, first off the bat, Australia come out with a big win against Korea. This was a really competitive game watching. One of my favorites to watch. I mean, it came down to the wire, man. And, Australia played really well. I think they could actually get a qualify. Yeah, I think the Czechs or the Australians are going to get out of this group with Japan. So, I don't know. We'll see. This match right here will be very interesting for them, to go against. But, yeah, I mean, this is looking good. I mean, they're both looking good. These teams are looking good. I mean, the Czechs played really well against China for the first time. I expected them to win that match, obviously. They look good. So, I think this is the group I said that would be the easiest one to predict. I had Japan and Korea, but Korea is looking really bad right now. Obviously, big key loss to Australia. I mean, was not it. And then they got absolutely blown out by Japan today. So, not the best. They play the Czechs next, which could be a winnable game for them. And they play China. So, I do think they could beat China. And then, I do think China's probably going to team to get bounced out here. Same with Panama in the other group. I think China and Panama are going to have to re-qualify. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted China out for a minute in this tournament, just because if we scroll back up to the top here, they've got pooled every time. So they haven't really had a good team. They're always bottom of these rankings. So it'd be kind of nice if we got them out of there. I'm not gonna lie. I just haven't been good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I do think they're gonna get out. They could beat Australia. It's probably their best game to win. They play Australia and South Korea next. But I don't know. I just don't see it happening for them because they just haven't looked good. They haven't looked good. They put up 6 runs in 2 games. They let up 8 twice. They've walked 15 against Japan. I mean, the pitching just isn't there. They can hit the ball a little bit, but the pitching for them is just not there, in my opinion, for China. Yeah, so overall, I mean, we're going to have an interesting group. I think Australia wins this game against China, putting them 2-0 up. And then, we have Czechs versus Japan. I think Japan's going to win this game. I think it's going to be close, though. I think Czechs are going to lose. I think it's going to be close, though. And then this Czech, South Korea game, I think South Korea is going to win that one. So I think the Czechs are going to go like 2-2, which is kind of what I predicted in this one. So I don't know. We'll see if they can beat Australia. They still have 3 matches. I mean, I think they'll definitely lose to Japan. The Korea one's up in the air, and so is the Australia one. But I think Japan wins against the Czechs, and they definitely win against the Australians, going 4-0, I think, in this group. It just comes down to these last couple of matches right here. We'll see. This is the make or break for a couple of these teams. I think this match for South Korea is a really big one, for the Czechs and the South Koreans. To actually get that over the rope. But who knows, if they win this one, this could be the match to who qualifies next year. South Korea, definitely not happy with their performance this year, but yeah, coming down the wire, I'd love to see the Czechs and Australians get out, but Japan's going to take one of those spots, so I'd love to see the Czechs get out. First year ever in the tournament, would love to see them do it. Australia looks really good, though, this year, so might come to this last game, but we've seen some really good matches in this Pool A and Pool B. We got Pool C starting tomorrow, so excited for this to happen. Starting off with a couple banger matches, Colombia versus Mexico, and Great Britain versus the United States, which I can't wait to watch. And then Group D starts as well, Nicaragua versus Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic versus Venezuela. So we got a lot of good matches to watch. Coming onto this one, who do I think doesn't get out in this group? I think it's going to be Nicaragua. I just don't think they're that good of a team. And then for this one, I still couldn't tell you. I don't know. I thought it was Colombia at first. I don't know. It could be Canada. Not really sure what's going to happen in this group, to be honest. With the matches that are going to get played. But I don't know. Really fun tournament to watch so far. If you guys watched any of the games, I mean, you could say it's been electric. The fans have been going crazy at these stadiums. I love having these international games, especially in Taiwan. They've been going literally crazy, for the Chinese Taipei squad. So I don't know. It's been fun to watch these teams back and forth and play. It's got to be the best tournament we've ever watched. So I don't know. I'm having a great time. If you guys want all the updates on this tournament, I'll be posting them on my Twitter as soon as they happen. Run scores, we got everything like that. All the standings updates quickly. I post it right on my Twitter. So if you guys want to go over and follow me, I'll pop it up on screen right here. Just go follow me over there if you want all the news. I literally tweet like we be putting out mad tweets. The only 2 times I don't tweet are probably from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. or whatever. So, because that's when some of the games are actually happening. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. This classic has been really fun to watch, and we'll be continuing to cover it. And yeah, with that being said, go follow me on this YouTube channel, my Twitter, and my TikTok, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.